Yes.
I want to begin by saying this is a life and death matter to the parents of those abducted, and the father of Billy Mwangi is right here in court. I don't know whether there are other parents present in court. It's okay, you may sit. You may sit. Yeah.
Please, let me hear from you.
Okay. The court wants to hear from you. Baba Billy ongea. Court imesema
You can
uongee.
take him a moment to compose himself, but I will hear from you.
Naona mtoto wangu alichukuliwa kwa kinyozi Billy Mwangi.
Mzee,
Mimi naitwa Gerard Mwangi Karicha.
Gerard
Mwangi Karicha.
Mwangi Karicha.
Yes.
Na mtoto wako ni?
Mtoto wangu anaitwa Billy Wanyeri Mwangi.
Billy Mwangi, ambaye ni fourth petition. Fourth petition. Mzee, endelea.
Mtoto wangu alichukuliwa kwa kinyozi on 21st Saturday around saa 9 akigojea anyolewe.
Yes.
There came two cars.
Yes.
One of the cars was filled up. Car, white in color. The new model.
Yes.
Registration number KDG 527D.
Yes.
And your honor, that car had surveyed my home neighborhood for three days.
Yes.
The other car was a double cabin pickup, which was behind that vehicle car.
Yes.
When they came to where my son was, the field car was ahead. The field car immediately left, but four guys, very strong guys, from the double cabin car,
Yes.
popped out of the car, went, mishandled my son, and threw him inside.
Yes.
And he asked them, "Who are you? Where are you taking me?" Wakasema utajulia mbele.
Yes.
Simu ikazimika, wakaenda naye. Mpaka saa hii yaona, I have no idea where my son is. I read these orders that he would be produced in court today. I was coming for him, and I've come from him. My wife has collapsed. She has collapsed so many times.
Yes.
I did not come with her because I cannot be able to handle it. So when I look around the courtyard, I cannot see my son. I thought he is here. Seriously, who took my son and where is my son? We have taken a lot of medicine for blood pressure. Yeah, I have also developed blood pressure.
Yes.
At a certain point, it doesn't come down. I was even praying God that when I'm coming on the way, nifike, na ni kweli nimefika. But I cannot see my son. I cannot see guys who look like my son. But he's not here. Where is my son, Your Honor? Where is my son? Seriously, where have they taken my son?
Nimekusikiza. Na sasa ningependa kusikia kutoka wakili, lakini kabla uketi, ningependa kukuambia kuwa mahakama itatatua hilo swali ya wapi mtoto wako yuko, nani alimchukua na kwa sababu gani walimchukua.
And that boy is secret, he's a secret boy, very physical.
Thank you. You can take your seat. Senior Counsel.
Yes, my lord. I was saying this is a life and death matter because, as has been demonstrated by the father of Billy Mwangi, the parents and relatives and friends of these abducted persons, and also many well-wishers, do not know, not just about their whereabouts, of whether they are alive or not, and whether they are in good condition, if alive, and what is happening to them. A habeas corpus by nature is a very urgent application, and it is surprising that parties would want 7 days. The question is simple. Do you have them? And if so, produce them. And if you don't have them, the answer is simple. And like I said, it is the business of the security agencies, especially the police, to know. Police can never come to say, I don't know. It is their business. We pay them, we the taxpayers. We pay them to know. And this is the age of information. Satellite images, we know they use them. We know there is CCTV. We know there are 1,001 ways of how they get information. This matter has been in the public domain. It's a matter the court can take judicial notice of. Therefore, even without a court of law, conscientious officers, and especially the IG, who have taken oath of office, would have started their investigations long before your order. Asking for more time is literally wishing the families of these people ill. And you have heard it from Billy's father that the mother has already been collapsing. You have seen the father, and I'm sure it is the same with all the other parents. I'm urging this court to stick to the date that after due consideration the court gave, which is the 3rd. I'm also an interested party, and I'll have to spend my new year writing my response, if at all I need to respond. This is not a matter that can be postponed, and we want to persuade the court to stick to the 3rd. I'm also urging the court to take judicial notice of the fact that the police have lately, in the last 3 years, demonstrated a lot of impunity, and I gave the case of Masengeli. There are many orders that have been issued and have been in the public domain. Don't use tear gas, don't disturb protesters. They are all not obeyed. It is incumbent upon the court, and we appreciate the orders this court issued, to remind everybody in this country, whether the IG or however mighty a person is, that we are all subject to the Constitution. And that Constitution, it is the people who give every person mandate. And it is the people now asking, where are our children? That question should be answered with urgency. The 3rd is actually far enough, because it's not near. The 3rd is very far. These people were picked more than a week ago. By the 3rd, it will almost be 10 days. What more time can we be asking for? I really want to persuade the court, before I give floor to my learned colleague and senior, that the 3rd we should maintain the date of the 3rd. Let everybody burn the midnight oil. Let us all put ourselves in the shoe of the persons who are missing. And we can all come back to court and canvass all the issues we want. But the first order in a habeas corpus application is to produce the person to produce the body, alive or dead. So let the 6 people be produced, and then we can have all the time we want to file lengthy affidavits and to have lengthy submissions. I give floor to my colleague.
May it please my Lord. Habeas corpus is not negotiable. And you have made it very clear. You have heard from an affected Kenyan parent what they are going through as a family. My sister, mother, a learned friend, is a 4th interested party. I want to suggest to you, learned counsel, that all the 55 million Kenyans are interested parties in this matter. Our country is at a crossroads. I mean, the court take judicial notice of the fact the chief executive of the country has actually gone on record to say, yes, these children will be released provided you, parents, teach them how to behave. These are young, educated Kenyans, aware of their constitutional rights. A learned friend representing the Kenya Human Rights Commission almost nailed it. Your Honor, you will stand in history. Sanity to this country if you stick to your orders. We can all, as learned friends, swear those affidavits from Inspector General of Police and Director of Public Prosecutions, present them before you, file them even in time. But the reality, Your Honor, is the country is experiencing a most delicate period where you have to help this country determine whether it's a country under the rule of law, under Constitution 2010, or a country ruled by gangsters who are known. Today, I believe if the Inspector General wants those guys here, he will bring them. Some of us have been in government, we know how it works. I beg of you, my Lord, that you do not give way by extending time to 7 or thereabouts. Billy Mwangi's father wants his son now, dead or alive, and the country demands the same. Thank you, my Lord.
Are in state custody or otherwise. So unless there is any party that is saying they will not be able to file and exchange responses so that we have a hearing on Friday, I will confirm that hearing date. Is there anyone who needs more time? Mr. Nyamodi, I'm looking at you.
It would be out of place for me to ask for more time. I actually endeavor to comply with the time because I leave my brother to the responsibility.
Perhaps you can whisper with Mr. Kasioki for a few minutes, because what I would wish to see is a response that is not in the nature of the proverbial ostrich, where the NPS is saying, we did nothing, we saw nothing, we heard nothing, we don't know. I would want the NPS to play its constitutional investigatory role and shed light on the whereabouts of these 6 individuals, their circumstances, and if they truly do not know, they would have arrived at that conclusion after a very comprehensive investigation.
That is
So-
well understood, my lord.
Yes, so I'm giving you the opportunity to say Friday is not perhaps practical. Can we take another date?
Can we then, in that case, my lord, take 7 days?
Senior Counsel, just a moment, Senior Counsel. I think the rest are feeling a little bit left out.
7
Let's
days from today, my lord, Tuesday.
Tuesday next week. Let me hear from the rest. Let me begin with Mr. Thande Kuria.
Mr. Joseph, I come from the same school of thought as Mr. Mwangi, and we have had the court statement in terms of the provisions of Article 25 of the Constitution. Therefore, our view
Yes.
the matter that definitely, and also make sure that we want to cross over the issues that are being raised by the city. But in terms of filing substantive, this matter was served on the 8th of yesterday, 6th of this year. And we have not had enough time to appraise ourselves of the matter. But nonetheless, we are here. Perhaps if you can grant us maybe sufficient time, which I will say if we agree with all the parties, 7 days is sufficient for us to prepare very well, to come before you, address all the issues that have been raised in this constitutional petition, and also bearing in mind I have just looked over my phone, I have seen the other petition that has also been served on us, the other senior criminal application has been served on there.
Thank you.
Please, Your Lordship, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, on behalf of the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, being the constitutionally mandated body to protect human rights, Your Lordship, we were looking forward
Yes.
to an obedience of your orders yesterday. And I think, having listened to many of the arguments, I would say this, that the individual capacity of an official of the state is akin,
Yes.
Your Honor, Your Lordship, to the famous company law concept by Professor Gawa of organic theory. That means the office cannot run itself. It runs through individuals. And
Yes.
those individuals are the ones that need to explain by virtue of their responsibility the things that the court needs to know for the proper arbitration of the citizens. So if there is no appearance, and inevitably then there's an application to adjourn, it completely beats the purpose of a habeas corpus, which is really not in itself a case. It is an application, and it is, by the way, a standalone remedy that the person should be produced, first of all, to satisfy the court that, yes, he is being held in legal custody.
Yes.
And then the other responses and explanations and arguments can come later. The priority is the body of that incarcerated person. I think, therefore, that I am not convinced that the Inspector General of Police
Yes.
can keep his seat and refuse to come to court and thereby delay the proceeding ad infinitum et tuum. It is completely unacceptable. And the Commission, of course, will be tendering its investigation
Yes.
and proving to the court that there is a very, very similar fact evidence that all the incarcerated persons in this case are linked to one sequence of events, which therefore is a very satisfactory reason to show that they are in legal custody as the custodians try to, to fight with whatever they are doing.
Counsel,
So,
have you placed that material before the court?
I know. So, with your lordship, we are saying, therefore, that
Yes.
it is incumbent, your lordship, for the IG to appear in person and not to send agents. Thank you.